let me tell you something. That thunderstorm was creating an introduction to the fiery gbas-gbos match that you ever see in your life. I am watching two teams go at it. Like, when you think you can have a minute to catch your breath, they take it up another level. I'm talking about yellow cards, red cards, goals, penalties. Guys, this match had it. Hello and welcome to another episode of the weekend match reaction here on the Goalline Conversations TV. Guys, we're back. And you know what it is. We came back at the right time. World Cup is in the air. Round of 16 is going on. And we decided to come back when the gist is properly hot and juicy. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reacting to the World Cup round of 16 matches that have gone on over the weekend. Guys, you know him. Told you, familiar phrase. No, it's not new. If it's new to you, go to the description below. Click on the World Actually podcast. Subscribe if it's new to you. If it's not new to you, subscribe, continue to support the channels. More stuff coming out as you continue to follow us. All right, turn on that notification bell because that's the only way you know when new things are dropping. So, guys, do the needful. Let's get right into it. Mexico, England. This game, they said high altitude. Some people are not going to be able to breathe well. They said, that there's thunderstorm. Well, if you were looking for a proper intro into a match, that thunderstorm gave you a sneak peek into the match that we watched. Because from the minutes that game started, from the atmosphere in that stadium, and the game that was played on that pitch, our mouths were just like this. That's it. That's the only, if anybody needs a summary for that game that you did not watch, this is my reaction. I just can't close my mouth. What is happening? How did we get here? This game just, it's like it was a little bit going out of control. Then it came balanced, and then it had everything. Guys, it had yellow cards, red card, penalties, VAR, everything you could think about in a match. And I loved this game from beginning to end. And honestly speaking, it was so intense that I was like, if I go and grab water and come back, something else can happen. Starting from the Bellingham quick fire goals. It's like a quick jab. You know when you are fighting and you just give him just two jabs and then your opponent is staggering. That is literally the picture that I can paint about this game. But honestly speaking, this game was thoroughly entertaining. I was entertained. It was not boring like some other games that promised to deliver on so much and they just flopped. But this game, everything leading up to this game, from what Mexico fans were going to do to the English fans, staying outside their hotel and all that stuff, it was worth it. This movie was worth the hype. I will put it that way. This movie was worth the hype, and England really showed themselves. But told you before I go on with my analogies and my reaction, how did you see this game?
For me, it started off entertaining, as entertaining as any match we've seen. I would say, obviously, we have Argentina, Cape Verde, and then the England-Croatia match in match day one.
Yeah.
I'll put this up against those matches in terms of pure entertainment. And then once the red card came in, it seemed like one team was just like, okay, let's pack it up. We're not trying to attack anymore. And the other team kind of ran out of ideas in a way. Like they became very one-dimensional, but it's the desperation of a host. It's a desperation of a host nation, a desperation of a team that literally, if they had just kept what they were doing initially, I feel like they would have had a better chance. That decision of just spamming corners, especially against a team that already on a normal day, they're taller than you. Yeah. And then they brought on Dan Burn. What are you trying to do? But it was an entertaining game, and then it transitioned into just being tense. It transitioned into being, okay, you can feel it throughout the stadium. Everyone was on edge. They were like, every time the ball went in, you're like, where is this going? Pickford, he had said that he's not catching anything. He's punching every single ball, whether his defender is in the way or not. He's like that ball.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you could tell it was that kind of atmosphere. And credit, because typically these are the kind of matches that England will fold under. something will happen where it's just like, oh, same old England, the jokes will be, it's coming home.
Yeah, I'd written the newspaper already. All those clickbait journalists, they have already printed out the paper.
And
Quansah, Tuchel, costly mistake. Loses
because
us the World Cup.
the English press, they are happier when bad things happen than when there's success. Like, yes, it's
these people don't care.
Yeah, it's that I think they feel that sells more papers because they get to be very passive aggressive.
Mhm.
They get to say mean things while maintaining the air of politeness.
Mhm.
So they were ready for that, but no, those boys at some point Harry Kane was like back defending. And I guess when we're talking about, okay, how would you describe this match to someone? You can just give them this stat. Harry Kane is the first player to ever score a penalty and concede a penalty in a World Cup match. Think that's the kind of pressure England was under, because Harry Kane was defending in the box when he kicked the guy's leg, and so I don't even know what to say in terms of the officiating. We could have used this ref in the France-Paraguay match, because this ref wasn't afraid to use his cards. Yeah, so I'll say, like, you won't get a good sense of what England is really capable of. I mean, obviously the first half, that's best case scenario. Second half, it was just survive and advance. Like they didn't have the opportunity to put together 90 minutes of where you can get a proper assessment of them, but they did what they had to do. Like, it's a knockout tournament at this point, and they're the ones moving forward.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the controversies leading up to the game, and then some of the major calls that happened. So leading up to the game, obviously Reece James not being fit. Obviously there was a lot of conversations about Tuchel and his team selection generally, the kind of profile of players he brought in. But my question, other than Quansah going full-blown karate mode, has Tuchel justified the squad that he selected for this World Cup for the England team? Has he justified? Because if you look at the results so far, everybody that he has called up, he has used them in a way that fits the ideology that he's trying to portray. But do you think that he has justified himself, or do you think this is still let's wait and see kind of?
So I think those are two different questions. If it's him justifying his own philosophy, sure.
Yeah.
Is that the right philosophy is probably a different thing, because Arsenal fans will tell you Madueke backing up Saka is a very frustrating prospect, and yet you're doing it on the international level.
Every time I see Madueke starting, I'm just like, this is the best England has to offer.
But that's the thing, it's not. That's just who he selected. Now, it could also be that he's a more willing, quote unquote, defender on that wing if it's called for. Then you'll have I'm uniquely capable of talking about this because they both play for Liverpool. That Quansah over Trent was always going to, like, no matter what, something was going to come up where that was going to rear its ugly head. And it happened here. Like, Slots played him one half of one game at the beginning of the title-winning season, and we're just like, that's it. No,
we're not doing this again. This is a bad idea.
Yeah, subbed him off immediately, and then went off to Leverkusen. He has those moments. It's like you didn't need to make that tackle in the first place, because there's one thing Trent is not going to do. He's not going to dive in for a tackle.
Yeah,
I can guarantee that. I can guarantee. You might score a goal. He's not diving in for no tackle. It's just like, okay, it's just like basketball. After they score, you get the ball up, check ball, and move up. That's what Trent would do. So whether that was the right decision, especially after Reece James' injury, it's like, okay, you chose Reece James over Trent. We've had that debate between Chelsea and Liverpool. Who's the better right back? Reece James went down. Like, okay, you answered that one. Now, like, what are we doing? Like, okay, you proved your point. This is the rare win-win situation where you got what you wanted initially, and now you get to go back with him, and nobody will blame you. Nobody would judge you, and nobody will say you're a hypocrite. And he's just like, no, I'm going to double down. And like, I guess if Quansah hadn't done this, we wouldn't really be talking about, but he has this in his locker. But that's the thing, he has this in his locker.
Yeah.
And then playing him. We've
seen this movie before.
Yeah, and then playing him as a right back when you have a natural right back. And I'm sure there are other trains of thought that, oh, you want as many center backs on the field as possible. But no, because as Quansah told you, he can beat a man down the line and fire a crossing. Because all that's doing, even when you're in possession, is him pushing the ball up to a midfielder, and then like that's so you have one less player in possession.
Bro,
You don't need to worry about
I,
that with Trent.
I saw Quansah overlapping when Saka had the ball. I'm like, why are you overlapping to? Come bring your behind back here, come and defend. What are you going to do? You can't cross, you can't whip the ball. Come on,
Because all that will happen there is if he gives Saka given the ball, he would have given the ball right back to Saka.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what are we doing? Now I can understand if you're like parking the bus, then you bring him on. But when you're 0-0 or chasing the game, that's not how. But for coaches who are very like you're judged by your results.
Yeah.
If you get the results you need, people are going to change the narrative to fit whatever. Like so and I would like to think that people are process driven rather than simply results driven, because you can do the wrong process and end up with a good result. But again, winning a World Cup or advancing a World Cup is legacy building stuff.
Yep.
That's just like, bruh, you don't have to even speak. We'll do the speaking for you. Mm-hmm. And there are people who have been calling Deschamps a bozo up until France did what they did, and then now he's almost untouchable.
Yeah. What are your chances? So obviously, which is the game we're going to talk about next is Brazil, Norway. But obviously England go on to face Norway. Do you really think England has what it takes to make it to the at least semi-final, if not final?
So for England, they're very much, so they have this pedigree on purely we invented the game rather than pedigree on results and hardware. So they are simultaneously favorites and underdogs in every match. Based on, I feel like they're more, the only place that they're underdogs really are at home. Everywhere else sees England as big favorites because of Premier League and how the Premier League has shown itself, has spread itself across the world. Anyone who like follows the stuff regularly, like England is not in the same class as certain teams.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of teams that you would have said were better than England that have already been knocked out.
True.
That we would have said before the World Cup started, or even before the knockouts did it. Yeah. So so now, if I'm looking ahead in the bracket, to me, and that's just to me, I would see England in the semifinals. That's just to me. That's just to me. And it doesn't even have to be like a perfect England to do that. It's just like if they're playing at their baseline. Now, obviously, perfect England will get to the finals. But if we're giving them perfect, then we also have to give the other team perfect. And there's levels to perfection.
And England's defense in this tournament is so dodgy. Like, it's so dodgy. It goes back to the calls that Thomas Tuchel made. We're talking about you not calling up Maguire, who is going to show up that defense. If you're putting, imagine Maguire and Gay. They lock it up. They lock up the defense.
Yeah, you're not winning any headers against them. Yeah. You're not winning any headers against them at all.
And now you got to worry about Quansah going up to Gay, Stones with Gay. Like, it's a mess. So for me, I probably agree with you. To be honest, the only thing that Norway does not have is Norway does not have a good attacking force to nullify England's attacking force. If not for that, I will have backed Norway. I don't think their firepower is enough, because if it's Ireland, if they mark out Ireland, then I don't think Norway has anything else, because their wingers they're not putting any fear inside of you. And they have a striker turned winger, Solot. The guy's a number 9 and he's playing right wing position. So I definitely agree with you that I see them in the semi, but I think that's where their power is going to, because then they'll eventually go against the inevitable team called France, that cheat code of a team. And I think that's where they'll run out of steam, because bro, we'll talk about France later. Anybody that runs against France, just go and say your last prayers, because
just go and ask Mbappe for his jersey before the match starts.
Ask him for his jersey. Ask for his autograph. Ask for autograph. Please sign the back of my shirt. We know you are going to win.